You are tuned in to WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 FM, your progressive information station for all of Metro Atlanta via 100,000 tingly watts. From Good Morning Blues to an eclectic mix of great organic programming 24/7, here at Radio Free Georgia, the right station on the left side of the dial, 89.3 FM. Stay tuned.
WRFG Atlanta.
Good morning blues will brighten up your day as you put on your shoes. Yeah, yeah. You know it's got to be the way to wake up each and every day on WRFG in Atlanta. Good morning blues.
Good morning blues.
Well, thanks to COVID restrictions, things weren't quite so crazy in Savannah yesterday on St. Patrick's Day as they have been in the past, which is usually, I would think, the most extreme that I've ever seen. They dyed the river green and all kinds of nutty stuff. I myself had a large time at Napoleon's with our green outfits on and all the usual hoodoo, but they do a rather excellent Irish stew and a meal there focused on Irish love. So there will be a few references to that day. In fact, I was going to do an interview with Gary Moore, but you know what? We can hold that off for another week because I would like to honour Norman Pilcher. He was the chap that wrote the book Bent Coppers, telling all the stories that weren't true, meaning the stories from the British celebrities, the Beatles, Donovan, Dusty, all those people, about things he supposedly did and stuff that never happened. And I had the enormous pleasure of sitting down and having lunch with him in Kent last September, which doesn't seem that long ago. Having a lovely time and a chat and recording an interview, which I then put out in October. But unfortunately, he passed away on Sunday at the age of 85. And he was a real no-nonsense copper. Tough guy for his time, but not when I met him. And I just thought his contribution and the stories he told were excellent. So the second half of this show, we're going to repeat some of what I did with him and all the interjections from those artists talking about him by name. You would know him in I Am the Walrus as Semolina Pilcher. And a lot of other references in British pop from that era were a result of him running around nicking everybody for drugs because he was doing what he was told to do at that time, late 60s, early 70s. Scotland Yard said, well, we're going to have enough of this rubbish. We're going to stop these people behaving like this. Bloody long-haired, you know the story. I thought he was brilliant. And he's absolutely worth another hour of my time and yours because you're going to find it super interesting if you missed it back in October. Meanwhile, for the first half, quite an unusual range of things going on, from some very rare live bits I've just collected the last few days to new releases to some comedy. Oh, what a surprise. So, get your pen and pencil out, give it a good lick. But if you can't use that to remember, you can always send me an email, ukbob@mindspring.com, and I'll answer you with something perfectly ridiculous.
Would you like to know a secret just between you and me? I don't know where I'm going next. I don't know where I'm gonna be. But that's the other side to this life I've been leading. But that's the other side to this life. Well, my whole world's in an uproar, roar, sing. My own world's upside down. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm always bumming round. And that's another side to this life I've been leading. And that's another side to this life. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Half the time I don't know where I'll go. I think I'll get me a sailing boat and sail the Gulf of Mexico. But that's another side to this life I've been leading. And that's another side to this life. Well, I think I'll go to Nashville or down to Tennessee. The 10-cent life I've been leading here gonna be the death of me. But that's the other side to this life I've been leading. And that's another side to this life. Would you like to know a secret just between you and me? I don't know where I'm going.
Got out in love and she been out in the rain again. Got out in love and she been out in the rain again. While I'm set to ride, she's going by my door. While I'm set to ride, she don't love me no
So we began this morning's jollities there with a song by Fred Neil called The Other Side to This Life, because it's his birthday and we're going to do birthdays for a little bit. I think he would have been 85, like Stormin' Norman Pilcher. And what's interesting about him and that song got covered by tons of people, well-known names, but he was also the guy that wrote Everybody's Talking for Harry Nilsson. So there you go. We then jumped into celebrating the birthday of Mr. Ry Cooder, but did it backwards in the sense that not the modern current stuff solo albums you might think of. He's 74 this week, but he was in a band called Rising Suns with Taj Mahal. So we did a track called 11th Street Overcrossing, and then an instrumental of his from way back called Cherry Ball Blues. Kind of brings you up to speed and is also an introduction to celebrating this guy's birthday and maybe a couple more. We'll see.
I've been waiting my time just to talk to you. You've been looking all down at the mouth and down at your shoes. Well, baby, I come to give you the news. I'll paint rainbows all over your blue. I heard you've been spending a lot of your time up in your room. And at night you've been watching the dark side of the moon. You don't talk to nobody if they don't come to you. So me and the boys came here to sing you a tune. I give up is all you've really got to say. 'Cause it's time to find your lifestyle, 'cause that really weren't the way. Let's go for a bounce on my trampoline. I can show you the prettiest mountain that you've ever seen. You better run to your closet and fish out your blue suede shoes. I'll paint rainbows all over your blue.
Center, located in Atlanta, Georgia, is a private not-for-profit hospital specializing in medical treatment, research, and rehabilitation for people with spinal cord injury, brain injury, stroke, multiple sclerosis, spine and chronic pain, and other neuromuscular conditions. Whether you're recovering from a life-changing injury, stroke, or other neuromuscular condition, you receive an individual patient recovery plan and compassionate care by expert clinicians at Shepherd Center. More information is available online at shepherd.org. That's SHEPHERD.org. This is another public service announcement from your station for progressive information, WRFG 89.3.
Sebastian of the Loving Spoonful, 77 this week, and he gave us Rainbows All Over Your Blues, a live acoustic thing from 1969. He was one of those people that covered the Fred Neil song, Other Side to This Life. That was the connection, not just his birthday. And then we ran into Thin Lizzy doing Blues Boy because Scott Gorham, guitar player for Thin Lizzy, is 70 this week. So we got all kinds of fun bluesy birthdays, and that big box set of stuff they discovered on cassette years ago, meaning 5 or 6, not 20, still hasn't showed up of the Thin Lizzy stuff, which I am dying to hear. Meanwhile, let's step into a little bit more of, how should we say it, the aftermath of St. Patrick's Day with something brand new and different. In fact, several things brand new and definitely different. So here he goes.
quiet as a mouse. Still you know when it's in the house. When it comes creeping round, all the big dogs start to howl. I smell bacon. Bacon is on my mind. Yes, it is. I smell bacon. Oh, bacon, bacon, got to have it all the time. John Sully played a little piano.
With the kit, Mr. Jim Dickinson doing his Rory Gallagher with the latest Volume 2 collaboration of the New Moon Jelly Roll Freedom Fighters Riders. I can never remember, it's a long name, but it's a groovy name, with his sons, the North Mississippi All-Stars. It keeps it Irish, why not? Then It Was My Job to Make You Hungry. That was Jimmie Bratcher. I'd not heard of him before. Something else that just kind of came out. Kind of interesting. The whole album is songs about food. I should probably hang on to it till Thanksgiving. He's an ordained minister, and he put together a cookbook of 200 recipes aside from these songs. But if bacon wasn't on your mind before, it sure is now. It's always on my mind. I have bacon socks. I have a shirt. I have to think about what the shirt says. So yes, St. Patrick's Day is always a good time, I think. Everybody tries to throw it in there the weekend before, but it is the 17th of March, and typically there's another excuse to go out and do something green during the week. What I wouldn't necessarily recommend is perhaps flying southwest on St. Patrick's Day.
You're traveling this evening aboard our Boeing 737-800 series aircraft. We're going to ask for your attention while the flight attendants point out the safety features of this aircraft. We're going to ask you to pay attention to my ex-wife up here and her two new boyfriends there in the center aisleway. Now, folks, in the event that you haven't been in an automobile since 1942, a flight attendant has to show you how to fasten a seatbelt. So you do this, to unfasten it, you do that. And that seatbelt needs to be low and tight across your hips, just like the hot pink Speedo I'm going to be wearing when we get to a hotel hot tub tonight in Manchester. Now, folks, you don't like the jokes of the service tonight. There's 8 ways out of this airplane. You feel free to use them. That's 2 forward exits, 4 overwing window exits, and 2 rear exit doors. Those signs on the ceiling and the disco lights on the floor, they'll lead you to these exits. In that seat back pocket in front of you, it's a safety information card, outlines the safety features of this aircraft, as well as our evacuation processes. Please take a moment to look it over. Michael decides to turn the Love Airlines, Southwest Airlines, into a cruise this evening, somewhere between here and Manchester. We're going to instruct you how to remove this life vest from beneath the seat. Folks, this is a life vest. It is not a toilet seat cover. You place it over your head. You bring that black strap around your tiny little waist. You snap it in front and pull to tighten. To inflate the life vest after you exit the aircraft, you pull down on the red tab. And for those of you that have to do absolutely everything the difficult way, well, you blow into that red tube located at the shoulder. The very best of luck to you with that. But then kick paddle over to the shore. This cabin crew will be behind you shortly. Oh, folks, you'll be able to recognize us. We'll be the ones carrying the liquor kit and the world famous fresh peanuts. Now, that cabin staff, they're passing through the cabin at this time to make sure that your shoes and socks and handbags match. Folks, I'm really sorry, but I have to say, what I noticed during this parade of boarding, so many of you need a little fashion consultation. But kick it, cram it, and shove it all the way underneath that seat in front of you. Now, folks, it's a non-smoking flight for the next hour and 37 minutes over to Manchester. But for those of you that have to enjoy a cigarette this evening, we have 2 entertainment lounges for you. One's out there on the left wing, the other one right across the hallway on the right wing. And if you think you're talented enough to light it, oh, you can certainly smoke it. But the rest of us, we're going to enjoy 2 feature films this evening. Gone with the Wind and Bye Bye Birdie. Ladies and gentlemen, the message is just very, very clear and very, very simple. Don't be naughty in the potty. Leave that webcam alone in there or you'll end up on YouTube next week. Now, folks, it's $2,200 for tampering with the smoke detector in an aircraft lavatory. And, folks, you know if you had $2,200, you'd be on U.S. Airways in first class back over there to Manchester tonight. In the event of a decompression, 4 saffron yellow buttercup mask designed by Gucci and Martha Stewart. Well, they're going to drop from that compartment overhead. To start the flow of oxygen, you have to first stop screaming. You let go of the person next to you. You reach up, grab that mask full, extending the plastic tubing, place it over your big nose and mouth, and continue wearing that mask until otherwise notified by one of your 4 fabulously dressed flight attendants. As the flight attendants that you'll see running about our cabin absolutely naked tonight, folks, they just simply cannot be trusted. Now, ladies, for those of you traveling with someone that's going to need your assistance this evening, ladies, yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am, that very dear husband of yours. Dear, when those masks fall, you may want to sit back. Think about it for a bit. Diamonds, diamonds. For those of you traveling with your children, why? And for those of you that are traveling with 2 of your children, what in the world were you thinking tonight? But when those masks fall, put the mask on the bright one. That one's going to contribute to your retirement most successfully. Ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor this evening. Thanks for coming out and joining us on the holiday weekend. Relax. Enjoy our in-flight hospitality, or you can sit up and be tense. That choice is yours. The pleasure to serve you this evening, it is certainly ours. And folks, we have one final message for you. We love you, you love us. We're much faster than a bus. We hope you enjoy our hospitality. Marry one of us and you'd fly free. Now, folks, you have an hour and 37 minutes to think about that wedding proposal. But you need to know, one of us is a little higher maintenance than the other 3.
Hi, this is Dana Gillespie from London, England, to tell you about the second best way to wake up. Just tune in to UK Bob and his Good Morning Blues show and feel good for 4 hours on WRFG Atlanta.
Well, travel was on my mind because I'm going to be off for 4 weeks running around from London back across the West Coast in Oregon from mid-May to mid-June. So hopefully I get one of those chaps on one of my planes. That would be fun. Things are picking up in New Orleans. Finally, Mr. Alan Toussaint is going to have a street named after him. And Tipitina's opens tomorrow night with Dumpstasphunk. So good reason for us to head into a funkier little groove than we've had for the first half hour. So put the kettle on, make another cup of tea, chocolate biscuit, off we go.
used to be. No, no. Radiation underground and in the sky. Animals and birds who live nearby are dying. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No. What about this overcrowded land? How much more abuse from man can she stand? Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Mercy, mercy me. How things ain't what they used to be. No, no.
Where did all the blue skies go? When's a middle wind that blows from the north and south and east?
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no.
Wasted on our oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury.
Oh, mercy, mercy me.
Everybody sing with me. Everybody take a chance. Join together with who we need. Everybody get on down and listen to the rhythm of the phone. Don't you know the world is such a good place to be? And it could be such a hip place for all humanity. We don't need no more war.
no pets. Can't rent you the apartment.
My dog is not a pet. Look, I'm legally blind. I need my guide dog.
Sorry, those are the rules.
Rules that allow for housing discrimination? So I made a call. Turns out landlords must make reasonable accommodations for assistance animals.
If you think you have been a victim of housing discrimination, Metro Fair Housing Services may be able to help. The number is 404-524-0000. Fair housing is your right. This has been another public service announcement brought to you by your listener-sponsored and supported Community Radio, 89.3 FM, WRFG.org.
So let's head backwards 3 songs to what you began with, the Afro Peruvian Jazz Orchestra, a one-time name for a host of Grammy nominees from last weekend that all got together to add a vocal to What's Going On. And Alexandra Desplat, Anushka Shankar, Bebo Gilberto, who else was in there? Grace Potter, Gregory Porter, Kamasi Washington, just LIZZY, a whole host of names putting their vocal touch to their version of that song, followed by Mr. CORY WONG, very, very crazy but talented guy, and his Hornheads doing a Stevie Wonder sax medley, followed finally by DUMPSTAPHUNK with Marcus King on guitar doing United Nations Stomp. So if you're in New Orleans and you are lucky enough to be first in the lines of the socially distanced opening of Tipitina's, you are in for a large time tomorrow night. Let's stay there. I think we need a little calm down. Don't switch to coffee yet. You're going to need your energy for the second half.
I know it's hard to love a gypsy, but don't you worry, baby, 'cause I'll soon be coming home to you. And if I got to steal away, a thief in the night now, baby, it's only 'cause I hate to say that long goodbye to you. The comfort of your big brass bed. I got a long hard road to travel and only cold hard stony ground for this poor boy. Poor boy, the rest is weary worried head, yo. I'm like a fish out of water, and I'm drowning on dry land. Ticket, baby, right here, in the palm of my hand. I'm yours. 21st century gypsy singing rubber man. When I kiss you goodbye in the dark hours of the morning, baby, pack that guitar bag, head on out the door. Girl, you know, I know I really hate to leave you, child, but it's that time again, and I simply got to go. And I know there ain't no way, and I'm gonna wait for weeks on end, baby, in some far
a desperate man to do. Cain and Abel lit the flame. We can never go that way again. Everywhere I turn, there we are. So walk away with me. Walk away. I'll show you that I will anything, anytime, anywhere, anytime. I would do anything, anyway. I will go anywhere, anytime, anywhere, anytime. I would do
TEDESCHI Trucks, obviously, doing the fireside session of their track Anything. Just recorded this last weekend on the 11th. Before that, a new song I've come across by a new band I really like called Nick Greeley and the Operators, and a song called I Can't Explain. And we kicked off with a very subdued, groovy version of 21st Century Gypsy Loving Man by Mr. John Cleary. Just a little three-piece trio there with Cornell and AJ Gent doing their thing. We're going to move over now and talk with Mr. Norman Stormy Pilcher, who passed away on Sunday, and all the wonderful stories about the Beatles, Donovan, Dusty Springfield, Eric Clapton, and it was all live. Right, it's Good Morning Blues on a Thursday, and I'm somewhere in deepest, darkest Kent, having a lovely chat with Mr. Norman Pilcher, otherwise known as Semolina Pilcher, from the Beatles, I Am the Walrus, and can you promise not to slap the cuffs on me while we're here?
Definitely not. I never used cuffs. They always came voluntarily.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah.
Did you get any fluffy ones?
Oh.
Well, it's been lovely to meet you, and so many people are going to be thrilled to hear what you have to say about all those years ago, with lots of fascinating people that you chased down for the drug squad, some big names and made a lot of press. I guess this was from, what, 67 to 72?
67, 72,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
But you moved over from a different squad and started catching celebrities almost immediately. Did you have a list ready?
No. When I went to the drug squad, what happened was I was promoted on division, right, working division, and I got promoted, and a friend of mine said, do you fancy a transfer to the drug squad at the yard? Well, of course, Scotland Yard, goodness me, who wouldn't take an offer to go there? So I jumped at it. And he took me up to the West End, and we went to a club, and he introduced me to Wally Virgo, who was the commander of the C1 unit in the yard. That was the murder squad, the drug squad, the dirty squad, all those antique squads, all those funny sort of efforts. And he said, do you fancy a transfer? I said, yeah, I do fancy a transfer. He said, well, you'll be moved on Monday, and this was a Friday. So I looked at police orders over the weekend, and there I was, transferred to C1 drugs. And when I got there, it was situated over Sandwich Bar, just outside the yard. And there was a DI, another sergeant, and 2 DCs. And that was the strength of the drug squad.
That was it?
That was it.
Blimey.
That was your lot.
So you went out the door straight after, you know, a lot of the big names of the time, the Beatles, the Stones and whatever, but so who was leaking you information? Somebody in the band or the roadies?
It was usually, sometimes they upset their dealers, didn't pay them or whatever, and they would, or just somebody that was found out something about them and was envious and thought they'd pass the information to me. When I got there was virtually no information at all. No one was interested in drugs. But I sat down for about a month and studied the legislation, all this sort of thing, because I knew nothing about drugs, absolutely nothing about drugs. But when I finished, I knew a good deal.